So here it is, guys. This is my Gen 1 BMW S1000Rr. Now, many of you will be saying to me, why would I buy the Gen 1 over the Gen 5, which I nearly did buy Gen 5. But there was a lot of factors to why I didn't buy the Gen 5 just yet. One of them being was, as many of you guys know, I'm a Suzuki diehard fan. And the Gen 1, many of you guys know, was all made off the GSX-R 1000 K5 engine. That's what the Gen 1 engine was based off. That's one of the reasons why I went for the Gen 1. The second reason was I couldn't add value to the community or to the S1000Rr community. And let's put it bluntly, there is many people out there that love the Gen 1 and still think it's the best bike today out of them all, because it was when BMW come and stormed the superbike era with the latest tech, which no other bike had at the time, and made every other manufacturer up their game because it showed what a superbike was actually capable of. One of the reasons I purchased this was purely because it's standard. Now, this is a 2010 model. It's only on 13,000 miles, so it hasn't done a lot of mileage at all. It's only had 2 former keepers. The bike is in absolutely immaculate condition. And I mean mint all over, no scratches, no damage, no marks, not been crashed, no nothing. But one of the reasons that I targeted this one, and I'm not gonna sit here and say there wasn't other models out there, because there was other models out there with the functions that I'm going on about, but I didn't want them because otherwise I couldn't add value. And that's one of the reasons I didn't target the Gen 5, because the Gen 5 already comes with everything that I don't get to make videos on by adding. And I do know it's going to add a lot of value because a lot of people are under the belief they want the Gen 3, the Gen 4, Gen 5, because the Gen 1s don't come with all this. But I'm about to probably increase the prices of the Gen 1 when people see what I'm about to do to this bike. There's going to be people on here going to say that's impossible, you can't do that, you can't do this, but then people clearly know nothing about me. I make the impossible possible, and this bike, it is possible to make it happen. Just a lot of people were never aware of that, and BMW tell you it can't be done when it can be done. So the things I'm going on about, I'll show you now. So you can see here, this is usually where the heated grip switch will go. Now this one doesn't have heated grips. Now they usually do. Gen 1 always had heated grips. But I chose one without it. Why is that? Purely because I wanted to show many of you guys and anyone that's looking to buy one of these, how you can retrofit these very, very easily. Now, a lot of people ain't aware that this can be retrofitted, but they can. The heated grip switch actually goes into here. This is a blank, and it's actually right there. It shows you can actually just knock out the blank and put the switch in there. Now, I don't know if you can buy the switch, but I do know you can buy the whole surrounding bit to go back on with the button in place. We'll be retrofitting them. That's something we are going to be retrofitting. I'm going to show you how to code them all in to get them working. Because again, people don't really focus on that, doing that on the Gen 1s. A lot of people go for the Gen 3s because they have them. But you can see the blank right there where the heated switch button will go. And I'm going to be showing you how to retrofit that at some point. We are going to be putting them on this, and I'll show you how to code them all in and to get them all working so they're synced up, and I'll show you where all the wiring is for these, because there is a wiring harness in here that they connect straight into. Again, a lot of people ain't aware of that. As many of you guys know from the cars, BMW use one harness for everything, and the plugs are already there. But again, many people don't realize that. That's one of the things we're going to be doing. Next one we're going to be doing here, if you can see on the other side, is we've got the cruise control blanks. Now, bearing in mind this is a Gen 1, you don't usually see Gen 1s with the cruise control. This will probably be the first Gen 1 out there with the cruise control, because again, people think it can't be fitted. But yes, the cruise control can be fitted, and I'm going to be showing, again, how to retrofit that and how to code that all in. The reason people think it can't be fitted is purely because a lot of people in the motorbike scene don't understand the stuff I do. They don't even know it can be retrofitted. They just buy the bike thinking it don't come with it, it don't come with it. They just buy it, come from like a Suzuki and things like that, so they're just none the wiser. But yes, they can be retrofitted, and we're going to be showing you how to do that. Another thing we're going to be doing on this is this bike right here doesn't have the slick mode coded. Now, in this country, if you have the slick mode activated, it voids your insurance because they don't know if you was on that at the time, if you have an accident, and you're not meant to really use it because it turns off all the ABS, turns off all the basically electronic cops on the S1000Rr. Now this has the ABS, DSC, and everything you want to have, all your race mode, sport mode, but it doesn't have the slick mode. I'm going to be enabling in the slick mode on this, and we're going to be activating it because I'm going to show you guys how to actually activate it. Now, one thing a lot of people ain't aware of as well, this generation of the S1000Rr uses ISTA, uses Wing KFP, and uses NCS Expert. From 2014, you can still use ISTA, and you can use E-System to code and do everything you need to do and update the modules. This is another reason why people go for the Gen 2, because they think, and BMW tell them, you can't update the modules. And as many of you guys know from the E60s and E46, it is possible to do that. Same today, you'll go to the dealers and they tell you can't update your car. They tell people you couldn't update the modules to the later versions. Well, I'm going to be showing you how to do that because these can be updated with Wing KFP. And we can update them to the later versions from the Gen 2, which we're going to do. Which again, a lot of people in the motorbike scene ain't aware of that. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that as well. And like I said, I do believe this bike is really going to set me apart from a lot of other YouTubers purely because I'm a rider. Other YouTubers ain't really a rider, and secondly, they don't have the knowledge that I do when it comes to BMW and the things I can do. So this is one of the reasons why I bought this bike, and this is what's going to set me off from being completely different to others. And I know this bike alone will help grow this channel massively, purely because there isn't another YouTuber doing motorbikes, and secondly, there isn't another YouTuber that knows BMW as well as I do, especially on the motorbike side of things. I already know mechanicals when it comes to motorbikes, and I've got the electrical experience when it comes to electronics, thanks to be on BMWs. So it works hand in hand with me, where people don't have the two of them. Most people that will show you these bikes on video don't know the stuff I do and can't do the stuff I do, which is why this bike should get this channel a lot more noticed from TikTok, YouTube, and everywhere else. And obviously I know there's going to be a lot of people that are going to hate on this because it's not an affordable bike for many people. No shit, we all know that. But I know what this bike's going to bring. I know the value I'm going to add to it. And I also know I'm going to be found a lot more now for doing stuff on this that people thought weren't possible. And I'm also going to probably bring the prices up on the Gen 1 because the engines are not unreliable. It was people going for the gimmicks on these. And obviously, hopefully I can update the cluster as well, because you guys know they updated the cluster on the Gen 2 to bring in a fuel gauge, which I'm going to try and do that as well, so we can get the fuel gauge on there, and change the cluster as well, which is something I'm going to look into doing, and I'll surely figure it out. But overall, guys, this bike is magnificent. It's been looked after by both owners. They are both responsible owners, 52 and 54 years old. We've got all the GB racing covers all over for obviously protection, all the carbon fiber, the Aquapopic exhaust, which many of you guys know wasn't a cheap option from BMW, RNG crush bungs. You guys know what the S1000Rrs are capable of. You guys know this is everybody's dream bike if they get into bikes. This is the bike that everybody goes for this day and age. And you guys probably already know how well this channel is going to go with this bike, purely because it's in, you know, I don't like to pick myself up here, but the right person's hands. Someone who is actually a rider. I'm not just buying it for a TikTok or I'm buying it for YouTube. I'm bought this purely for me. And that's why it went up doing well, because I'm a rider. I'm not just buying it just to make videos on it. So I've got a lot to do to it. And as I said, the videos coming up are going to be immense. There is a lot I want to do to this bike, and every video will be filmed because it now relates to many of you guys if you've got this bike or any other people that are going to find it. And therefore, I now have a bike that has a purpose for this channel going forward. And that's one of the reasons why I bought this bike and why everyone said to me, why am I buying other bikes when I could buy this? You can see here, I know many of you are thinking, why is it off the ground? But I've got it on my ABBA Skylift, purely because it makes life a lot easier than showing you it on the floor. But we've got a lot of videos to come, and obviously this ABBA Skylift is going to help massively be able to show you guys in full detail how to do everything. This is another advantage I've got over many on YouTube, is having that lift. When doing this bike, we can raise it even higher in the air, and you guys will be able to see everything. So I'm not laying on the floor, you know, trying to show you on the camera. You'll be able to see everything in full detail, how everything's done at a perfect, reasonable height as well. And overall, guys, the bike is absolutely magnificent. And if you guys feel there's something I'm missing, or there's something you're missing that you feel I can add to this bike that you guys want, then do let me know, because I know many of you on this channel will have this bike, or you will have the Gen 2, Gen 3 or Gen 4. Just let me know, because there ain't nothing I can't do with BMW and a motorbike. It's even easier than a car. There's not much in sync realistically with them. There's not many modules on this at all. And when we do get it plugged up to Vista and to NCS Expert, I'm sure there will be a lot that people ain't aware of that you can activate on these. And I think I'm gonna blow a lot of people's minds, because again, nobody's even done a video on that. So I'm sure that's gonna set me apart immediately, doing it on the bikes. But overall, guys, that is my new S1000Rr. And this is the bike we're gonna be using going forward on the channel for now, because as I said, I do want to bring in motorbike subscribers, and I want people to find me for this. And this is one of the reasons why, you know, we're going to be focused on this, along with the E60 that I've got to bring back and put on the lift, but that's on a different lift to the motorbike. This is going to be our focus now, the S1000Rr and the E60, because the E60's got a few issues as well. But obviously, you guys will probably welcome this now instead of being a Suzuki, Kawasaki and everything else. I know this will be very welcomed by a lot of you. And like I said, some point later down the line, we're going to end up probably with the Gen 5 in here as well. But for now, I want to focus on this and get the things that people think can't be fitted, can be fitted. So there you have it, guys. That is my new purchase, which is my BMW Gen 1 S1000Rr. Like I said, not everyone's going to be into it, because most people don't ride, have no interest in riding. That's fine. But there is quite a lot on here that do have the BMW bikes, and I know that for a fact, purely because a lot of you were always mentioning when I bought the other bikes, why didn't I buy this bike? Because they've got this. And now I do have it. I know it's going to apply to a lot of people. It's also going to bring in a lot more people to this channel, because you've got to remember, a lot of these subscribers are missing for the S1000Rr because they don't know who to relate to, because there's nobody actually doing anything on this bike. And if you look at the amount of people who own this bike, there's no one for them to actually subscribe to get any information, any knowledge on their S1000Rr. And there isn't anyone I can actually think of who can fully go and buy this bike. There might be people that know are good at mechanical stuff, but electrical stuff, there is nobody good on YouTube for the electricals on the S1000Rr at all. Not with the coding and programming, not with the diagnostics. Everyone seems to think it's got to go to the dealer. Most people, the S1000Rr, do go to the dealer. And now, me having this bike is going to set me apart from everybody else on YouTube, because everyone else messes with cars, but nobody else is messing with motorbikes. And they have no interest in that. And this is where my channel will grow a lot more, because by doing the BMW cars, doing the BMW bikes, I'm doing both things where they're only doing the one thing. And I think this bike was needed on this channel for a long time. It was just a waiting game. And now we've got it. Now we're just gonna get onto the videos, crack on, and I'm sure you guys will see how well this channel will do from the videos, because I know they're gonna do well, purely because there's not the level of information I'm about to give on the internet for the S1000Rr. Just like I did well with these 60s and BMWs, this is going to be a completely different game, and it will get the same kind of views because, as I said, and it will bring us in complete different audience as well, because they may ride an S1000Rr, but they don't drive a BMW. They'll be with the Japanese cars and things like that. So we're going to have a completely different audience, and I'm really looking forward to it on both platforms, on TikTok and on YouTube. So thank you very much for watching, guys. It's BMW Dr. Dean here, and goodbye.